Hi there, making sure you can all hear me after yesterday. How is everyone? I love that you're all having vibrant conversation in the chat. Wonderful, wonderful. Happy new moon in Gemini. I speak about Gemini quite a bit as I feel like I'm a bouncer for the Gemini slander. Especially Gemini moons, I feel like get a bad rap. Geminis in general are called two-faced and all kinds of things that are really a product of social media pop astrology, where there can almost be nothing good found in pop astrology. It's fear mongering. It's what gets the views. But I've also heard professional astrologers slander each of the signs, and Gemini gets its fair share. I don't love uh sign slander at all, but I think that we really need to understand that Gemini um allows duality, right? It allows looking at both sides of the coin. Um, it it takes in a lot of information, also keeps us entertained. It's interesting, but Gemini is the communication. It's the information that comes in. Mercury expressed in Virgo is editing one the communication that comes in, the information that comes in. Gemini just wants all of the information. It's not that they are um two-faced or they are unable to settle on one opinion. It's that they are interested in all the opinions. So when we have a Gemini new moon, um Gemini allows us to diversify. It allows us to have another way. It allows us to have a backup sometimes. That two in the Gemini symbol uh, truly represents our ability to diversify, uh, have more than one way of doing that, doing something, to have an open mind to hear another opinion. Sometimes we get ourselves stuck. If you've heard to unfuck yourself, we get in our own way. That's just a human condition. That's part of being a human. Gemini wants to release you from that. Gemini wants to help you not be in that position to feel stuck. And so the information that comes in from Gemini is something we should all give um, space to. The other thing about Gemini is it's playful, it can be creative. It and Gemini doesn't just mean talking, it means thinking, it means writing, it means expressing however that you express best. When we are going to be looking at a new moon, we're also looking at the moon when the sun is too close to reflect light onto it, right? We know the moon holds no light of its own. The luminaries, the sun and the moon takes its light and its shadow from the position of the sun. So when they are that close, they are too close for the sun to reflect anything off the moon. And so this is the darkest phase of the moon. Um, when we have that darkest phase of the moon, we have to go into our intuition. There's less light shed on everything around us. I liken it all the time to walking into your kitchen at night to get a glass of water, to get a snack, and you don't really need to turn on the lights. You know where everything is. You've hit your hip on the counter. Your intuitive self, your learned experience will help you navigate that kitchen without all the full lights on. And so that's what a new moon is. It is not, it can be the beginnings of things, it can be new start of something, but we have to remember it's the darkest phase of the moon where we're using our knowledge. So when we have a Gemini new moon, it is so important to take in all of the information available to you, right? Maybe not act on all of it right away, but take in especially new information, different information that would challenge your already set belief system. It is the opposite of Sagittarius, right? In our membership, we just did Jupiter. We're doing a planet series. We already did a house learning series. So you guys have a better baseline when there's a lunar or an astrological event, just to take the fear out. But we talked about the belief system in Sagittarius, and that Gemini comes in to kind of question. It's not like it doesn't have a loyalty, but it just wants to question everything to make sure that you're keeping yourself expanded through information and not just expanded on blind faith. So this is it's always very interesting with a Gemini new moon, because Gemini is about letting all in all the information, and the new moon is about going off of what you already know. So again, an amazing opportunity to create balance. When we have an astrological transit that feels challenging, it is so that we can create balance. Just gonna take a look at the chat really quick. Hi, Doretha. So happy to see you here. Hi, Michael. Hi, Flower. Hi, Tanya and Shauna. And Adva and Juan, of course. I see Little John. I feel like the romper room lady always, which I love. Hi, Gemini love. Okay, so let's get into this. I want to get through the signs and the basics of this moon. I'm using my own slideshow kind of off camera to keep me succinct and not to ramble. And then we will there'll be PayPal links. I'll put them up later because I don't want people to start putting them now, but there will be PayPal links later for 10 and 20 bucks. But for that $10 and $20, I will give you either a quick or a detailed read, depending for your own chart. I can share the software, I can share your chart on the screen. I love the new setup, zooming live on YouTube. It just makes a lot more possible. So since we can do that, we will. All right, let me. Okay, so this is happening at, I'm going to share the screen. My screensaver looks like the place Thanos went after he snapped. Okay. Nerd to the core. Okay, here we go. I'm up in the corner, everyone. Here's this Gemini new moon, and you know, I have it set for 10:02 p.m. Now, this is probably closer to Central Time. I use Quito, Ecuador, because it has the most even houses so that it's not confusing to anybody. Whenever I'm talking about a new moon or any astrological event, you have to find it in your chart. We have friends here that live in Sweden, and their houses are huge. And your house size is going to depend on where you're born, the geographical location, longitude, latitude, it decides the house sizes. So not every time that I say Libra rising will it be in that house, because for some people, or some people who have very late rising signs, make sure that you are looking for the actual degree of where that degree is. And I'm just going to show you real quick. Let's say we were talking about a Scorpio moon, and I said, where's 6 degrees of Scorpio instead of 6 degrees of Gemini. And you would think, I don't have 6 degrees of Scorpio. Each cusp has a degree marker on the top. So if this is 4 degrees and it ends with 4 degrees Sagittarius, that means somewhere in your 10th house is 6 degrees Scorpio. So in case that you don't have any Gemini planets, or you don't have anything at 6 degrees Gemini, you just look at these little markers on your chart. If you don't have a chart, email me. I have them on Etsy. When you join membership, you can get one for free. And if you've ever had a session with me and you don't have a chart, email me and I will just send it to you. But we are looking at 6 degrees of Gemini, and this is happening somewhere probably between 8 p.m. and midnight, or 2 in the morning if you're over the pond, as they say. So this is what our Gemini new moon looks like, and that is happening tomorrow. The new moon occurs in Gemini. It's always going to emphasize communication, curiosity, that is important, and adaptability. Again, not so tied to a faith-based belief that you're not willing to adapt with new information coming in. Thank you, Juan. I have great moderators here, so if you pop in and you are new, please do yourself a favor and say hi, and the moderators can help you with any questions. Okay, I'm just looking to change something. Everyone give me just 1 second. Okay. By advice, I have just taken the subscribe button on. So if somebody is, if I'm not looking, if I'm doing my little slideshow and giving you the information as quick and succinctly as possible, and somebody's being an a-hole in the comments, moderators, feel free to use that wrench. By the power of Grayskull, you can kick somebody out. Make sure they're not being just funny and sarcastic first, but yeah, do what you do, regulators. Okay. When the sun and the moon come together again, this is a new moon, a new start, but again, the moon is just a sliver, as it is on the screen here. It's just a sliver. It's very dark. It's not even really a sliver, but we just do that because it's hard to show nothing. So we are going to be using a lot of our intuition. If you want to make decisions during a new moon, I'm going to say at least that 48 hours, close your eyes, breathe, especially if you're anxiety, especially if the hamster goes really back and forth quickly on your wheel. Take a breath, ground, get your feet in some grass if you can where you live, or just cement something, walk around your place barefoot, take a breath, and then make the decision, because you are going to take in a new information and then check in with yourself. That is the sweet spot of working a Gemini new moon. It's a great time to set intentions for learning, networking, which is so important, right? Especially nowadays, and embracing new ideas. So I'm going to start with Aries rising, and I'm going to go through pretty quick. If somebody wants to grab timestamps, that would be amazing. I would appreciate it. If you are Aries moon, or that 6 degrees is in the 3rd house, This is going to be a focus on learning and local connections. So think about where you're networking. If you wanted to stop by your local place, if you're new in reading tarot, see if there's a spiritual book place or a spiritual place or a place that sells crystals. We're going to be using that third moon to network, but network locally where you can physically kind of show up. Great time to start a writing project. There could be new communication or healing communication with siblings or people who present like siblings, old friends, people who have been there since childhood. As we grow and age, those relationships can strain. So there is a chance here to go from the heart and keep all the chatter out and reconnect and start a new connection based on who you both are now. That siblings, cousins, old neighborhood friends, old school friends, people have been around forever. Writing projects, musical projects also are things that can come up for you if you have moon in the third house. If you are Aries rising, you might have Taurus as your ruler of the second house. And that means Venus is ruling that. Right now, Venus is in Aries at 20 degrees. So while it's not making an aspect to this new moon, it is more likely that you need to think about what you're passionate about and get more information, right? I would slow my spending maybe a little bit right now with Venus in Aries right now and Aries rising, and know that the payoff will come later. We're gonna look at your fifth house ruler for new opportunities in romance, creative projects. And so that is the sun for you. So this is an excellent time to start new projects, especially when they are of the creative kind. Your career ruler is, well, let's say 10th. We can look at sixth house too, which is going to be Virgo Mercury for you. So if you're looking for a new job, this is great. If you are looking to advance your health, sometimes too, if we're trying to lose weight, and Mercury is on that cusp ruler and it's activated in some way, that can be great to aid weight loss if we've been having problems. I mean, not me, but I don't know if anybody over the age of 25 feels like the weight just doesn't come off like it used to, no matter what you do, right? So this could be a great time to, of course, you have to meet it with your free will and have a little discipline with what you're putting in your mouth. But this is an opportune time. Mercury moves fast, so it can help us with our health. We also want to make sure we're not overwhelming and not leaving ourselves to overthinking, that can cause anxiety with an Aries rising. And as far as advancement, where you already are in who you want to be when you grow up, that is in Saturn, and Saturn's making that sextile to Uranus right now. So there could be good surprises that bring longevity later. If you are Taurus rising, this is going to be in your second house. You know what I can do too? I can also, let's do that. Let's make a bi-wheel, shall we? I don't know if you guys can all hear Nikki. He's meowing like he's alone by himself when he is not. Sad little dramatic Taurus moon baby I have. Okay. So, Taurus rising. Do I have this correctly? Nope. Give me a second, kids. Let me switch that. Let me switch it. There we go. Okay. If you are Taurus rising, maybe having this in your second house, again, it's going to be wherever this is. This read will be if you have 6 degrees of Gemini in your second house. You know, of course, this is our money access. There could be new streams of of income for you. Also, we want to look at like the emotional investments that may influence what jobs we take and what jobs we don't take. In the second house, too, this is a lot about self-worth, balancing the information that comes in, especially from others, and also balancing hearing other people out, even if it your body and your mind and everything in your defense system and your trauma responses want to reject it. Let the information come in. It doesn't mean that you have to live in it. It doesn't mean that you have to take it on. Those that matter don't mind, and those that mind won't matter. My rule of thumb is if I respect somebody, the way that they live, the way that they do business, the way that they treat the other people that they love, that is somebody that I will take in their opinion. If I don't, then I won't. I will not take that on. I will not. So looking where you're taking on other people's opinions that are none of your business. Because at the end of the day, that if you would not live like them, if you would not love like them, if you would not wish to treat people the way that they treat people, that's not somebody's opinion you need to listen to. Also, everybody's different. That is the beauty of Gemini. It allows more than one way, right? There's more than one way to be. We can also look at how we are manifesting, quite frankly, in that second house where we look at abundance, any kind of anything that bad information about manifesting that because you're not doing it right, bullshit that hurts your self-worth and doesn't allow you to manifest because you're overthinking it and you are having a interruptive thought or a dysregulation in your body when you're trying to manifest, looking at the ways that you manifest, relax about it. That's also on deck, especially if somebody wants to do like a whole bunch of intentions for this new moon, right? We want to not get overwhelmed, not overthink, etc. Because your second house is most likely ruled by Gemini, or for anyone that it is, speak, communicate, make that call, send that email. This can all help bring money in right now. It can also help clarify things with more information. Assumptions are always the worst. One of the things about a Gemini is they will not really leave like a crumb on the table as far as like information or talking. They're going to probably tell you everything. Gemini moon might hold back a little bit, but Gemini in general, Sun, Mercury, Venus, they're going to give you all the information. So that's what you can act off. You don't have to do the guessing games. Take advantage of this new moon in Gemini the same way. Don't allow space for guessing games. That whole holding power because you're holding back information that somebody needs to react to you. Only in very rare occasions is that going to help you out. Certainly not going to help you out with money this new moon phase. If you are Taurus rising, you're looking for new love, wherever you do creative pursuits, painting, acting, music, anything creative, game playing, game night, virtual or in person, all of that is going to help bring the possible connection of new love your way. If you are looking to advance your or look for a new job, um, look look where it isn't obvious right now for you, Taurus rising. Look where you have to make a little bit more effort, a little bit more communication. You're probably not going to find it on LinkedIn or anything. You need to go looking and using networking for your new jobs, like who you know is going to be more helpful than what's online, because of your fifth house ruler. And if you're looking to advance your career right now, Taurus rising, there could be unexpected changes because Uranus is ruling that 10th house, but Uranus is also making a sextile to Saturn. So the changes could bring in something long lasting. And don't forget, Saturn has moved into Aries. We are here for it. We are here for it. So hard boundaries. We could see a lot of Taurus rising people be a whole lot of it's about fuck this o'clock with their jobs. If it's not feeding them, if it's not who they want to be seen as, if it's no longer feeding they're satiating them as a human. But adaptability is what the Gemini moon is for. And just remember that connection to Saturn is doing you a lot of favors, and it can produce something that feels more 10th house work, because Saturn loves that 10th house, so it could feel more 10th house worthy, like who you want to be known as. Oh, that's so and so, they do this, and that feels like, yep, that's who I want to be. So don't be worried about the changes. If you are Gemini rising and you have or you have 6 degrees of, let's change the chart for you, and you have 6 degrees in that first house, then this is your reading. One day I'm going to have the charts all done with the descriptions, and figure out if somebody knows how to half and half the Zoom screen so I could share and be here also, like long ways, or I don't care either way. Email me, contact me. It's through my website. It's in the description box. I'm usually good at figuring stuff out. Cannot figure that out. Go. Okay, if you are Gemini rising, you are most likely, unless you are after 6 degrees, and then you want to be looking for the if you're before 6 degrees of Gemini, then you're gonna want to watch the Cancer rising. But if you are Gemini rising, most likely you are having this in your first house. This is about you. This is about how you take information, how you balance things. And don't forget, we have Sagittarius. So when we are dealing with committed partners, whether that's business, ride or die friends, romantic partners, committed partners, somebody you live with, somebody that you have contracts with, we're going to make sure that we're not blind faith, especially somebody we're contractual with, where there might be money at stake, or it would take money to dissolve the contract. We're going to make sure that we're checking all the information, and we're not just doesn't mean you can't trust whoever you have in that 7th house right now, but we want to make sure we're also living authentically. Saturn and Aries, Neptune and Aries, it's time for authenticity regardless of what moon phase we're having. We want to make sure we're living authentically in our own opinions, in our own understanding of life, and not piggybacking somebody else's beliefs. For new money coming in or streams of income, we want to make sure we're not being stubborn, but also our again, the emotional influence we feel towards either money, our sense of our emotional ties to money, could be something that really needs to be examined right now. If you're looking for new love, and you are Gemini rising for this new moon, it's got to be go get it time. But again, you may have delayed results because that Venus is not making an aspect to the new moon. So you may have, I mean, you still absolutely go get it, go for it. Mars is helping you out here, uh, making an aspect to Venus, but just know that when you use all of that Gemini skill, if you're a Gemini rising, if you are going to go for it, we want to go for it with intelligence and conversation that's lit as fuck, and not with our hands, with Venus and Mars being both in fire signs. If you are looking for a new job right now and you are a Gemini rising, we're going to be looking at Mars, which is in in a trine, in an applying trine with that Venus right now. So it is a great time, and go apply for the job that you don't even think that you can get, but it's more money than you're normally comfortable asking for. That's the job to go after right now, my Gemini risings. If you are looking to just upgrade where you're already at in your career, advance and elevate your career, we're going to make sure that we are clear. Sit down and make sure that we are being realistic and clear on what we want, and that we're also clear in our actions, that we're taking actionable actions and not just waiting for that to happen. With this new moon, if you're going to take the actionable action and you get clear about what you want next for your career, this could work out really, really lovely for you. I lost my pop out chat. I just want to check in with the chat and see what people are saying. Oh, she's gone. Sometimes that happened. Yep. The chat went back in the chat. Hi, Zoe. Okay. I feel like I sounded like Elma when I said that. Let's pop out the chat again. There we go. Can everybody still see the chart? Let me know. All right, we are on to Cancer rising. If you are Cancer rising, you will probably have this in your 12th. It is absolutely time for healing, introspection. This could feel emotional. The best thing to do when you're having a 12th house transit is to ground, and write things down, make them very clear, make them as concrete as possible, so that you're not feeling kind of lost, like I don't know how to manifest something, or I'm not sure what I want, or I just know that I feel emotional and I can't kind of settle on what is making me feel that way. I I would definitely recommend writing things down. For new money coming in for you, financial gains is going to be for kind of behind the scenes efforts. We're going to maybe not take center stage as much, but we're going to work our connections, especially the people that also work behind the scenes, that also aren't powerful by reputation, but are powerful by position. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If you're looking for new love, well, that Mars and Leo could really bring somebody on, and it could be intense really quick, especially with that Venus in a trine. Enjoy it, and then make sure that you let all the information in and don't paint your red flags white. That's all I'm going to say. It could be really, really fun and really, really intense. There's always room for the one. But don't paint those with all that fire and Venus and Mars. Don't paint the red flags white, people. And if you're looking for advancement in your career, be assertive. Be assertive. You also have Mars ruling, you have your Mars ruling your 5th and your 10th right now because of Scorpio and Aries, respectively. So it's assertiveness. It is be about it, don't talk about it time. Okay, let's move over. I am jumping so many screens here while zooming. Let's look at our lovely Leo risings. Leo risings, this is a new moon in Gemini in your 11th house. Could we be more social? Could we be more happy? Could we be more optimistic and feeling really good, especially on the inside? I love this for Leo risings, and I will tell you why. Because Leo rising sometimes will Leo rising will sometimes be, before they heal things, have the need to be seen, so that feedback matters more to that beautiful Leo rising than it should. The feedback, the adulation, can be the only source of whether they feel good or not, depending on childhood and blah 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 and how much healing they've done. So for Leo risings to have this beautiful Gemini moon in the 11th house where they are going to feel good on the inside, then we are talking about having that source, like getting high off your own supply. This is a really positive place to have that. That 11th house is a really positive place to have a new moon in Gemini, and it's very social and very active and very communicative, which the 11th house loves. Talk about networking. If you're thinking about starting a channel on YouTube, on TikTok, on any platform, go do it. Go do it. Absolutely, 100%. And you can feel really good stepping into that, which really helps confidence, which is also great for a Leo rising. There can be new friendships and new little things that actually end up contributing later on to long-term goals. This is not so shabby for the Leo risings, this new moon. If you are a Leo rising, then you're probably getting money from looking at what Mercury is doing. Again, more networking. So like the networking will keep you happy on the inside, and it will keep your pockets fat, people. Leo rising might have winner chicken dinner for this Gemini new moon. If you're looking for new love, you know, big romantic gestures, if you are already interested in someone, if you're not interested in somebody else, big like having whatever makes you feel sexy, and maybe having a little luxury behind that is really also going to attract new love in. And you could find somebody through like a friend knows a friend, a social circle, going to a social event, that kind of thing. if you're looking for a new job could pop up. If you've been trying hard, it could feel a little easier. Saturn is going to be, is in a sextile with Uranus. And so that is really helping your new job hunt. So something could come up unexpectedly, but in a great way. And again, with Saturn there now in Aries, that is that fire and form. If you have not watched my Saturn and Aries video, please go do that. It's just on the channel. It's free to watch, but it's pretty detailed. And then Lori Rivers also did a Saturn and Aries for her Patreon. I'm not sure what level that is, but she gave a lot of different information and aspects. She did the aspects to it, and she does a lot of great collective. She's the GOAT for mundane astrology. So you can go check there too. But I have a comprehensive Saturn video that's heavily time-stamped if you want to go watch that. So while Saturn has just moved into Aries as of last night, that really gives like that starting energy to the longevity that is amazing for your career. Leo rising, this is beautiful, beautiful for you. Again, at the end of this, if you have your birth information, I will have links up if you want me to take a look at your chart for this new moon. And I can share the software and I can put new information in, no problem, pretty quickly. So let's now look at Virgo rising for our Gemini new moon. And of course, Virgo rising, dun dun dun. You're having this in your 10th house. Some of you are having it, if you are late degrees, you might be having it in the 9th house. I am a Virgo rising, but I am having it in the 9th house. Please look at where you're having 6 degrees of Gemini. Because that is where the new moon will be. Sometimes the rising sign won't always line up with your house cusps. So just make sure you're checking where that 6 degrees is. So let's say that it is and you're an early Gemini rising, early Gemini MC degree. And so we are having this, if you are having this in your 10th house, I mean, this is setting new career goals. Maybe being more social, more communicative about what you know. If you're shy, find a way. There are places like Patreon where you don't have to do your voice. Quite honestly, if I wanted to do a whole video and make a whole video or have a slideshow, I don't have to. I've done, there were times when I wasn't feeling good and I had a membership video to do. The whole thing is a slideshow, face not here. If you are shy, there are other ways of presenting your voice, your face, but it's about your knowledge. It's about what you have to communicate that the world wants to hear. It's about shifting how you are known, and how people understand your association with what you're doing being who you are. Like, this isn't just what I do. This is who I am. That is 10th house. Also, whenever we have a new moon in Gemini, this can change our status too. This could be somebody adding a Mrs. or a professor or MD or something to their name as well. Because again, it's how you are known. And it's what you want to do that satiates your soul. It's a sweet spot between calling, vocation, and what we're doing for a living, how we're making money. Okay, if you are a Virgo rising, that you could have Libra on the 2nd house, and financial gains through partnerships, through, again, and we want to be connecting here because it's a Gemini new moon, lots of networking in that 10th house. It's all about the connections that you can make right now. Virgo moon, Virgo rising, for financial gains and looking at who you want to collaborate with. partnerships there. With Venus and Aries, don't wait for somebody to come approach you about that partnership, about that new way to make money, about that new project that you guys can collaborate on and probably still have your own thing going as well. Could be a side project, but it has potential to really move into something big. When we have, because don't forget, Saturn and Neptune are both applying to this new moon in Gemini. There's only a 5-degree difference. So what we go be about instead of talk about right now, and really keep in mind what the culture is and how the culture will be changing with Neptune and Aries, because Neptune very much has a job in defining culture and trends. So if you are I just had this conversation in a client session. If you are in the exercise field, muscles looking strong is going to come very much back in fashion. I'm not saying long and lean, if that's your thing, isn't going to stay, but the bulk, the roundness, the Aries of it all is, and the angst. If you're doing music, it's going to be a little bit more angsty, a little bit more fuck you, a little bit, so all the trends are going to reflect Neptune and Aries. And Saturn in Aries is also talking to this new moon. So go, get your information, network, communicate, say the thing. You're going to have to do, and not just think. We cannot think our feelings. We cannot think our success. We're going to have to put moves behind it. This is especially true for Virgo rising. And if you are looking for new love, it could pop up unexpectedly because you probably have Saturn ruling that 5th house, and that's having a little conversation with, surprise, Uranus. But also putting a fiery structure. So, have rituals for yourself, have rituals that make you feel good, have rituals where there's no one involved but you, and how good your skin feels, to kind of put that sexy mark on you. There are ways to create rituals so that you're increasing your self-esteem and becoming a magnet for new love. If it doesn't come in right now, there's potential here to have long-lasting results on how you attract people and what you want and how you want to be adored, and how you want longevity and commitment, all from the rituals that you start now. Geminis are fun and willing to try a lot. So keep that in mind when you're taking those rituals up. If you're looking for a new job, we also have Saturn, Uranus very much because that's, you're ruling, Aquarius is probably ruling that 6th house. And so the Saturn, Uranus could bring up surprise stuff for your health, but also surprise job. If you're looking to elevate your career, that 10th house sphere, that MC, it's being ruled by Gemini most likely. So that communication, that network, that having that conversation with people that are important to network with is doubly important. Did I even change out? I changed it out, didn't I? Yes, I did. I'm a good girl. Okay. Say good girl 3 times and see if Tom Hardy shows up. Let's move over to Libra rising. Okay, if you are Libra rising, you could be having this in the 9th house. Again, if you are late degrees for Virgo, always be looking at where that 6 degrees is. For some reason, this is not giving 9th house, so we're just going to cancel it here and say that we're looking at 9th house stuff. Okay. Yeah, no, spicy ritual for sure. If you're Virgo rising is very good at being spicy behind closed doors. So a spicy ritual with yourself to increase your magnetization right now is excellent. Okay. Let's look at what that means for the ninth house. This is marketing, publishing. It's not just like adding certifications. It could be special training. Um, it could be you have your bachelor's and you're getting your PhD, or um, you could be expanding the letters on your education, but it could just be a certification, it could be a training, but also marketing yourself. New moon in Gemini, for anyone having this in the ninth house, marketing yourself is just ripe. Try not to be shy about it. We're also embracing philosophical exploration. Sometimes looking at history is a great way to kind of see patterns, which helps us now kind of hear where things are going to go, which also helps with our own expansion and our own growth. That ninth house is that woof out to the sky, right? Tom Hardy is a manifesting ritual I think we could all get behind. He also does this thing where he reads to kids. Did we know? I just found that out. That was joyful. Anyway, Gemini placements tend to be sapiosexual, which means you are attracted to intelligence. So I know Tom Hardy doesn't look bad on the outside, but that he's also very intelligent, and the way he uses his words, it's just, how could you go wrong? So when we're having that ninth house, also we're looking at our money coming from that Scorpio led house. And again, we have Mars and Leo making an I love you more conversation with Venus. And it's really such a go get it, and it could be there, like know what you want and go after it kind of time. For people having this in the ninth house, bold actions, bold, know what you want, go get it, be very focused on exactly what you want. It's like being specific when you're doing a manifestation, right? Be very specific and then go make a bold action for it. If you're looking for new love, you have Uranus ruling that for you. And so there could be unexpected romantic encounters. Use that Gemini energy to stay open and hear what they have to say. It may not be somebody that you physically immediately go, oh, that's my type. If you don't have a lot of Gemini or a lot of Aquarius, you may more look at what, if there's an immediate attraction, but Gemini and Aquarius can 1 minute literally not have any interest in that person aesthetically, and then they open their mouth and you are calling them daddy, or zaddy, whatever your preference, or mommy. That's gross. Nope, I take that back. Okay. If we are looking for but definitely unexpected romantic encounters, and stay open to what that person has to say. Don't trust me, don't just brush them off because of what they look like. Listen to what they're saying, and how they're saying. So with the with also, if you're looking for a new job, we're looking at Neptune. It might feel like a little foggier to find that Neptune is now in a conjunction with Saturn, which it'll stay for quite a long time. They're going to retrograde together. They're going to do lots of stuff together, like little besties. We like Saturn and Neptune together, especially in Aries, because what's going to happen is, as long as you put the action there, there can be more clarity. Yeah, if you're struggling finding a job in the next 4 weeks, to manifest a lot, gain clarity, put the action anyway. You might have to like put a lot of eggs in a lot of baskets, but it should have payoff within the next couple of weeks. If you're looking to elevate the career that you already have, then we are looking at you know, a Cancer ruling. Trust yourself in this new moon. Go into the intuition. Cancer is just as much of a money sign as Capricorn. So look at where you feel protective of, what you feel like intuitively is right or wrong for your money moves. If it doesn't align, you may want to drop out of running for a new promotion. If it doesn't align, it may not be worth the stomach upset you will get later, because people with 10th house ruled by Cancer, they IBS and stress at job are like, they are also besties. We don't want that for you. Okay, let's look at our Scorpio risings. I know I got a bunch in here. Okay, I love a Scorpio rising. Why does that say that is a Leo rising? What in the world? That's not a Scorpio rising. Let's get ourselves a good old Scorpio rising, shall we? There we go. Okay, quick fix. All right. This could be, if this is happening if you're a Scorpio rising, or if you are just having this in the 8th house. With the Gemini moon, we have to always make sure we're feeling our feelings and not just thinking them. Uh, there's going to be transformation. There's going to be psychological. So we have a new moon in that house of psychology in our own, where we keep things down deep, right? Or maybe we're not sharing. We're only sharing with the people we feel the most intimate, the most trust with. Um, we want to just be making sure that we're not doing that bouncing back and forth in our heads about guilt, shame, any of those things that we would want to shove down. Fuck shame, fuck politeness if it doesn't if it doesn't keep you safe. We don't need any of that. Those are outdated social constructs to keep people in their place. So fuck shame. Shame serves zero purpose other than to keep you mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically stuck. So transformation, but transform how much you shove down. Transform uh if you go back and forth with yourself with the intrusive thoughts, that affects how you allow yourself to approach life. The wonderful thing is there could be new sources of um, shared money. So people investing in you, client money. Sometimes we can see a union of people either moving in together, or yes, even getting married, but there can be people that come into your life that you will financially benefit from without your own hard work, because of love, because of a business, because of, if it's the hard work, it's hard work you've already done, and then it's like client money or investors. Passive income sometimes, 8th and 12th house we can see. And if you're feeling a deep emotional connection, Scorpio risings, and you are having this in your 8th house, make sure that you're not just keeping it way down under the iceberg. We're going to try to communicate this. I know what I just asked you to do. I get it, but I'm just saying. If you are looking for money, you got Jupiter ruling your 2nd house, which is not not so shabby. Jupiter is in Gemini. Your 2nd house is actually Scorpio rising, is Sag. The ruler is Jupiter, and it's going through Gemini right now. So again, joint ventures, other people's money, great investments, having people invest in you. These are all great ways for new money to come in, because it's kind of less work for you. If you are looking for new love, you could have Pisces on that 5th house. So enjoy the limerence, enjoy the romance, enjoy the honeymoon, enjoy the butterflies. And then just make sure I'm not as worried about Scorpio risings with that, because you have the human lie detector thing. It doesn't work so much when you feel all the butterflies and the woodgy. But just enjoy it for now. Let it open you up, let it move you. And then after this new moon is over, be your Scorpio detective self and deep dive them, or have a friend deep dive them to make sure they're everything they say they are. And believe people the first time they show you who they are. All right. If you want to find a new job, wonderful, excellent. We have the Mars and Leo with the Venus. It's a great time to find a job. You're gonna have to be really proactive. Just apply to everything. Apply for the things that you really, really want. Apply for things that you think that you're not even qualified for, but you want them anyway. It's a great time to find a new job. You just got to put that action there. If you are looking for advancement at what you're already doing, you have the sun ruling Scorpio risings. Scorpio risings, they have the Scorpio stare, which that's amazing. They're usually human lie detectors. And you got the Leo on the MC. And you got Jupiter running your 2nd house of income. Not so shabby for Scorpio risings. But with that Leo on the MC and the sun being in a new moon, you may be asked to step up. Promotions may become available to you, and don't be shy about it. Go grab that. You have Leo MC. That's not so hard for you. But as these opportunities emerge, make sure you're embracing the visibility, that is the whole, right? See me, don't see me, see me, don't see me. You're gonna have to embrace the visibility. It'll be fine. Let's look at our hi Maricela. So okay, we are up to Sag risings and the 7th house. This is the people having a new moon in the 7th house. Partnerships, and remember, when these subject matters were created, is romantic. Should the partnership that you enter in romantically should be one of your own choosing, that feeds you, protects you, respects you, adores you, that you can grow old with if possible, and if you move around, whatever. Listen, yes, it should be, but when these subject matters were created, it wasn't. It was a contract, it was an arrangement, right? It was dynasty, it was money appropriate, it was uh social status appropriate, it was for connections. And so We're looking at contractual committed relationships in the seventh house. So it's not just romantic, it's going to be business. Very somebody would merge your finances with, your reputation with, anybody that you would contractually tie yourself to. That's who shows up in the seventh house. It's a mirror for us in that first. So we're looking at the mirror, we're taking in information, we're letting ourselves be curious, and we're communicating and giving feedback and not just taking it down to the depths. Sagittarius, and we're trying to break old belief systems that no longer serve us when new information comes in, right? About our partners, about what our part in the partnership is, what if we're, if we need to have more or less, not power, but if we're being myopic or we're letting somebody walk all over us. Either way, we're examining this. Financial growth absolutely available to you, streams of income absolutely available to you, through discipline efforts, but also, dream. This is when what you want can bring you long-term results. I love Saturn and Aries. Really, seriously, I'm super stoked for it. When we are looking at new love possibly coming in, we're back again. A lot of times we're going to be, because we have 2 signs ruled with Venus and 2 signs ruled with Mars. So that Mars Venus is going to come up a lot during that video. You know the deal. You've been listening. It's hot. It's pursue it. Pursue it. If you feel it, pursue it. Have patience, right? But don't hold back how much you like somebody right now, Sag rising. Let them know, Sag rising, you're pretty good about that stuff, but don't be coy right now. Have patience, but don't be coy. Let them sit with the information, right? That's what we're all going to be doing in this new moon. So whoever the object of your desire is, or somebody could come to you and let you know that you're the object of their desire, and have patience with that too. If you are looking for a new job, again, we have, anytime that we have Uranus popping up or Saturn popping up, which is, here's another instance, there could be surprise, and things you don't expect, job postings that you think like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go for it. Go for it. Saturn and Aries and Uranus having a conversation, and we really want to go with Taurus leading, and also Uranus being in Taurus right now, and also be, again, just go for it, because that is being run by Venus. If we want career advancement, you've got Virgo there. So again, it's the same. Be very specific. I tell people too, if you're putting resumes in all over, try making a good quality, which you could do. There's so many apps on your phone. Make a little video, let people meet you through that video, and tell them why you're going to be so amazing, why you'd be an asset. What are your best skills? Be warm, be invited, so they can not just meet you on paper and then you just attach it to a little QR code. Do something brave, but do something specific. Communicate, but communicate in a way that's very succinct, and fuck the imposter syndrome, because that will hold you back from putting yourself out there for like, this is why you specifically want me. Yeah. If you ramble, make cue cards. I make myself slides and cue cards because otherwise I ramble. So know yourself and then lead with that. Let's look at our Capricorn rising. How are we doing in the comments there? Capricorn rising. Here we go. This is happening in your 6th house. So if you're trying to find a new job, great, because we have, of course, Mercury leading that sixth house. This is the focus on new starts. Do you want to, are you trying out like a, you want to cut dairy or cut sugar, or if you want, again, Capricorn rising, if you have Mercury ruling that sixth house and you've been struggling to lose weight, then you know um then you might have more success right now. um this is new starts in health journeys, new starts in routines. Do you not do so well being self-disciplined on your own? Have communication, have something set up. Get one of those Taskmaster apps on your phone right now that sends you like little love notes. The way that Duolingo will send you like, are we breaking up? Do you not love me anymore when you stop? Get one of those apps that will communicate. Set alarms in your phone to tell yourself that like you can do this. Support, the sixth house is support. It's so minimized. It's so people are reductionary about the sixth house sometimes, but this is where we can create our own support. This support's going to be communicative. Tell a buddy, tell a best friend, hey, look, I'm struggling right now. I need reminders for A, B, C, or D. But also, again, networking, finding new jobs, new starts, new routines. This is wonderful. Of course, if you are looking for streams of income, there could be surprise offers. You could have one stream of income go and another one come in. Be open, be curious. Something that surprises you could come in and then end up being a long-term thing. I like to remind everybody that I was having a whole bunch of transits. But one day I went to work and it was my last day of work because something with my health that was unexpected. I was very healthy, planking, squatting, very, very healthy, no nothing. And then I went to work one day and found out that's it. You're not doing that again. And I had been preparing to do this and I was side gigging this, but that was completely Uranian unexpected. And it has led to this long lasting thing that I love so much, that speaks to my soul, that is I so much joy derives from what I do. So always be open. Sometimes the things that feel like a sucker punch at first end up being really great for us. Okay. If you are looking for new love, again, we have a Venus Aries trine for you. You get a Venus Aries trine and you get a Venus Aries trine. We like this. We like it a lot. And also, that Venus, that Mars is in the eighth house that's talking to the Venus. Venus is in the fourth house. So it could be closer to home, this new romance. And I would expect heat, like the heat, the kind like, why am I having a conversation that's innocuous with this person and I want to peel their clothes off? And we're talking about what kind of peat moss to get from my backyard. That kind of like, it's connection and it's heat. Not so shabby. We already covered if you're looking for a new job, if you're looking to elevate, again, we have the Venus Mars trine here, which is beautiful. Take action, be very specific about what you want, state what you want, go for it, and know that you are worthy of it. Don't question that. Capricorn rising's pretty good with that, but sometimes, it depends on, early stuff, but like you're meant to go rise. You're meant to go climb that jagged mountain in a glass atrium with an audience and be like, and that's how you do it. So go do that. I really like the Capricorn moon for the Capricorn rising for this Gemini new moon. Let's look at Aquarius rising. We are almost done, kids. We are almost done. We are in the home stretch. Okay. My software finally got 10 signs in. It finally got the news that we're looking for the Gemini new moon around it. Okay. So Gemini new moon, and this is not an Aquarius rising at all. So I'm just going to talk about what Aquarius rising looks like. So Aquarius rising, you're having this in your fifth house, brown chicken, brown cow. Somebody can come along and literally talk your panties off. There'll be other things, but I just wanted to just lay that down for Aquarius rising. Um, and Aquarius rising needs somebody that's going to literally, they like shiny. They're attracted to like, ooh, shiny. That person's like glowing. That person has like a lot of, fun qualities. They're out there. But we still need them to talk, we still need them to talk your panties off. It is what it is. So this is a great new moon for Aquarius risings, which are most likely a little sapiosexual there. And what we have is probably the most creative, fun. Fifth and 11th house access are nice. So of course, Leo and then Aquarius are both going to have a really wonderful new moon here. With, Virgo, with Gemini ruling that fifth house, it's mercurial ruled, and with this beautiful placement in a new moon, and it making aspects to Neptune, which is very dreamy, but also Saturn, which can get it done. This is taking a creative project and fucking making it happen. Manifest it, do it. This is like your dream creative project, maybe your dream romantic partner. We don't know. But it's definitely, sexy mouth, sexy talk. But this is also, if you are looking to have children, this could be a good time. Mercury is also conjunct this new moon. It just could not get more mercurial. Mercury in one of its rulers, conjunct. We have Saturn and Neptune applying. I cannot say it enough. Go take the thing that in a perfect world, I would do this for a living. Go. You can do it because you have Saturn and Aries being your friend. Again, if you haven't, go watch the Saturn and Aries video. It really covers a lot. But understanding that you can have the passion and the longevity. It doesn't just have to be one or the other right now. And be communicative, write it down, sing it, paint it, play it, whatever it is. If you wanted to be a game master or a YouTube, like I remember when YouTube's only 20 years old. So my almost 29-year-old at one point when he was little was like, I'm going to grow up and be a YouTube star. And me now, what I do, I said, that's not a real thing. I tell you, old Susie was different. Right. But like the thing when you think like, oh, my dream job would be to be like a game master or invent a new game, go do it. Go do it now. Perfect. Perfect timing. If you are looking to like pull streams of income, you know, we have Neptune there. So the clarity, but we also have Saturn might be in that house, depending. But we have Neptune ruling that second house. And so you still have the North Node in there. Focus on what is less comfortable, but the actions that need to be taken, don't stay in the fog, and use that new moon in Gemini and get lots of clarification to bring in new streams of income. If you're looking for a new job, look through your female connections. Look through your female connections. And also, again, this is an aspect where it's run by the moon. We're having this new moon in Gemini. I would maybe close my eyes and think, what the fuck do I want to do? Where am I going to go apply? And go surprise yourself and apply from the inside, instead of all the practical information. Do both. Gemini asked you to do both. Do both. And you might surprise yourself with a new job. And if you're looking to elevate yourself, Aquarius rising, um, you know, you've got Scorpio there on your MC, so that Mars Venus again is in your favor. We also have Pluto talking to Neptune and Saturn, which is then also talking to that. We have a trine with Pluto with this new moon. I'm trying to keep it simple because that's really like an outer planet, but not for people with Scorpio on the MC. This could be a time where you go for something and transform your life, transform and go step into who you want to be when you grow up, as far as finding that sweet spot again between how you're thriving, what you're doing for a living. This is a really beautiful, energetic, and astrological opportunity to seize for you, Aquarius rising. Okay, last one. Let's look at our Pisces rising and hope it's actually a Pisces rising. Okay, I know I have quite a few Pisces rising here as well. Hey, Jazzy. Okay, so we are on Pisces rising. And then after Pisces, if people want a chart read, listen, I know it's Sunday. This might not be a day where people are hanging out and want their chart read there at their barbecues. It's beautiful out. So if you see this later, just know that I may offer a couple of these this week. I may come back on tomorrow. And we can do something like this where I'll either read cards or read astrology. If you missed this, but you've just been watching for the rising signs. Okay. So if you are Pisces rising, this is happening in your fourth house. New ways that you communicate to your old family members, to your new family members. This could also be very creative for how you're dealing with either house repairs or asking your children. There could be stuff coming up with siblings too. Asking your children how they want to creatively contribute to what the house looks like, to their sanctuary. That is also something. If you've been looking at buying a house or expanding your house or having some kind of creative solution, open your mind, be curious. Maybe you're adding one of those sheds on your property. Maybe you find out you don't have to get it flag lotted. Go investigate and be curious. This is also a great time to do healing on childhood stuff. This is also a great time to around sibling relationships. If you were given a belief when you were younger that that is your family and family comes first and family is blood and so you have to keep taking abuse from family, this is the time to take in information and get support about how you feel on the inside. So if you've been having a cycle with your a sibling, then it's time to look at more than what you were just told about. You have no choice. Because I went through that too. You have to ask yourself. I was asked. You have to ask yourself. I think, would you be better if this person was in or out of your life? And at the time they were being abusive, out, right? And I got in a lot of trouble for that. And so that took me time to deconstruct. And I'm not putting that on anybody else. But if there already is issues with siblings, family members, people you've had in your life a really long time, that you feel like the communication is garbage, but you keep taking either verbal or any other kind of abuse because that's what you were told. This new moon is a time to create a new start, a new way to communicate. And it doesn't mean we have to vilify anybody. We can just create new communication styles for ourselves, new redirects for ourselves, new ways to handle those kind of issues. So the other wonderful thing about having a new moon in that fourth house um, is that we can have new opportunities to work from home right in our laptop. We can restructure um, how we are dealing with work-life balance by having opportunities come in to work at home. Stay curious, take in all the information, let things surprise yourself. Again, we have, Saturn and Uranus still in a sextile. It's a wider sextile. But we also have Neptune and Saturn and Pluto all talking to this new moon. If you are pulling if you are a Pisces rising, you are probably, sorry, I was reading the comments there. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad that that resonated. Um, you're pulling money from Mars, and again, go after what you want. The money is where you want to be. The money is what you actually want, not just what you settle for. If you settle, the money may be drip drip, and if you go after what you really want, it may feel like a bigger flow for you. If you are looking for romance, new romance, romance is actually the key. Believe it or not, go see a foreign film that's romantic to you. Go do something that's romantic. Go to the little tea shop that's romantic. Like, you might find it in a surprising place, but the more you tap into your heart and communicate that, whether it's outwardly and satiating yourself or outwardly to somebody else, even being online and being really passionate and really showing who you are on the inside could attract somebody in. If you are looking for a new job, we're going to look for people with connections right now. And again, this is more behind the scenes connections. This is somebody knows somebody, maybe a little bit of nepotism, not gonna lie, could help you get a job right now. If you're looking to elevate where you already are, Jupiter is also making it's an inconvenient but yet strong conversation with um with Uranus. So that means you're gonna have to go after two opportunities at one time, and the one that you think is less likely might surprise you, to get some advancement, to get possible promotions, and it might move you out of your current situation a little bit. It might be something you're a little less comfortable with, but it might be where you really want to be and where you'll find a lot of satiation, success, and upward mobility, moving forward, where you have a lot of growth available to you as well. Okay, does anybody have general questions? If anybody wants their chart read, by all means, we can do that. And then if anybody has general questions, I'm happy to answer them. Checking the comments. Okay. Oh, does Flower Beauty not know her? Um, Flower Beauty doesn't know her thing right now. Her birth info. That's okay. That's okay, Flower Beauty. The difference between a Leo and a Leo rising is your birth time. So I'm a Cancer, but I'm a Virgo rising. Once in a blue moon, somebody is the same rising as they are as their sun, but that is the basic astrology. For anybody who's like not into astrology, doesn't understand it, doesn't know their birth time, doesn't care to know their birth time, I will probably be back this week doing a live stream and taking tarot questions. Does anybody have general questions? Again, it's a beautiful Sunday, Memorial Day weekend. So I was happy to do chart reads. But I would if there was a barbecue next door, that's where I would be. Susie is the YouTube star. No, it's just so funny because every once in a while my oldest is like, hey, remember when you said that thing about people can't grow up and be on YouTube and make money? And I mean, there are other sources where my income comes in. Um, mostly it's appointments, but it started here from this platform. I started this back, oh gosh, early 2020. Before I was working with anybody else before, and it was just funny, the reaction. Because 20 years ago, who knew? Who knew? Yeah, tomorrow I may come up here, but also like some other time in the evening this week. As the Fool. So and I no. So I don't really look at the Fool. I look at the Fool as more Aries energy. It's a leaping before we look, where Gemini would want all the information and then overthink it. Um, oh, let me. Okay, if you cash at me, then do you want me to take a look at your? Yeah, you can just tell me in the comments if somebody does cash app. Um, but that the Lover's card is technically was originally called the Choice. Two options. Um, then it became the Lovers, but it was originally that card was originally called the Choice. And the Lovers is supposed to be a depiction of Adam and Eve, and the choice is the apple or not the apple. Ta-da. The more you know. Da-da-da-da. So yeah, who knew, right? I know. I keep saying I'm going to get together a tarot course because when I deep dive something, I really deep dive, and it helps us understand the card, and the stronger and the more understanding we have with the card and its origins, then also um the more we can have a relationship with the card and our guides, and it gives us more expression of it, and then we can also take the modern meetings with it. How will this do? All right, how does this new moon? So let's go back to sharing the screen. All right, let's pull up Shauna's chart, and I'm at the point where I don't need the transit, but I will put it transit. Okay. So So here we are. You're having this inside your third house. So again, see, this is a perfect example. Are we sharing? Are we sharing? Let's share. Okay. So this is a perfect example of, I always say, don't just listen for the rising sign, because she's got a large first house and a large seventh, and the 12th and the 6th are a good size too. That third house is a little small, but it didn't end up being in her fourth. It's in her third house. So with the third house here, this is going to be about feeling emotionally like anything that you don't resonate with, anything that doesn't feel good to your psychic self, to your intuition, that is probably not going to yield a new job if you're just looking for like a random new job, right? Let me get that chat open. I couldn't put in the description because my description box is already full with all the other stuff, so I couldn't just pop it in there. So, and see, Maricela and Shauna have only a 3-degree difference with their rising sign. But they may not have it because they're born in such different places. They may not have the same house sizes. So that's how that goes. Maristella has a bigger fourth house than Shauna does. However, so having this, looking for a new job, you are tying it to this new moon. You do have to like look at it in two ways. So it would be like applying to the job you really, really want, and applying to jobs maybe that I would do both. I would apply for jobs where you are qualified for the knowledge you already have, for the information you'll be able to communicate, but also anywhere that you are a communications person. So like customer support, chat support, somewhere where your ability to be friendly and warm is also could work. But I would be doing something that allows you also to be working on that 10th house, because right now your 10th house is being ruled by Jupiter and Uranus. So like it's not convenient. It'll take a little bit more work, but there is something available to you to work from home as well. Um, and you're having a Mars return. You're in the middle of your Mars return in the 6th house. So it's about, with Mars trining Venus for you, it really is about going after what you truly desire and not just what you think you should be doing out of convenience. Does that make sense? You tried Cash App, but it wouldn't allow you. If nothing else works and you can do a super chat, you can do a super chat. Does that make sense, Shauna? So you may want to have one thing that subsidizes, that's more practical, that's maybe customer support stuff, but not so heavy that it drains all your energy. So it leaves you free to like work your 10th house right now while you've got those aspects. Let me know if that makes sense. Does anybody else have general questions? Gemini love, I think I do have something from my Cash App. Ask your question. Do you want me to just look at the chart real quick? I don't know how I keep doing this. My hair keeps getting stuck on everything lately. Oh, you would like to give your reading away? You're so sweet, Maricela. Oh, look at that. I thought I turned the subscriber only thing off before, but I just did it now. Okay. Aw. Okay, so Maristella has also donated a quick read. If somebody else wants that. Okay, Gemini, let me pull up your chart. Let me first, I'm gonna stop the share really quick and make sure you're in my system as, and if you're not in my system because I haven't read for you before, it's a very quick fix. I will throw your information in the system and I can get a vibe on somebody's chart very quickly. Let me just make sure you're gonna come up. All right, let me change your name. Okay, and now we will go back to sharing the screen. Okay, this way just to protect your privacy. I'm a very private person, so I'm happy to respect everybody else's privacy. Mm. All right, well, I'm proud of you for putting down that boundary. That was probably overdue. I'm very proud of you. I know that was super, super hard, but I'm very proud of you. Okay. Let's look at the transits. And we'll just go a day later. We know that that's supposed to be 6 degrees. Okay. Wait, no. That was supposed to be. There we go. Okay, so Gemini love, this is happening in your 12th house. So what I was saying before about 12th house is like really important to write things down, get very specific. This might not feel as grounded and it could get overwhelming in the mental space. Because you already have a Gemini moon, you're kind of used to that energy, but it's extra. You also have Jupiter has just passed over your moon. Give it another. When Jupiter moves into your first house, you're going to feel a lot better. Is that happening tomorrow? I think we're totally good on the links. Thank you so much, Shauna. Um, let's see. I don't want to spam people either. Um, so on the 30th, Jupiter's going to move into your first house. It's going to feel good kind of getting it off your moon to some degree, only because the moon's in the 12th house. For this new moon also talking, let me look at the rest of your chart. You know, I would manifest secure like living spaces. What's going on with you for living spaces right now? Thank you so much, Shauna. Thank you so much, Shauna. Um, I'm wondering, Gemini, if this isn't a good time for you to really like take some uh thoughtful action. Yes, beautiful, perfect. So then it's already kind of happening for you, which makes sense too, with some of your other transits you have going on right now. Um, I'm very, very happy for you. So now it's just about not letting anything in the mental space like rob you of what you're building. Um, I could cry. I'm so happy for you. Make sure, because you've got, don't forget that, so Saturn and Aries, Saturn and Neptune are together in Aries and 11th house. So that's long term. The friends, the new friends you make right now, um, I would make sure any toxic old connections don't get in the way of that. Um, and you have ability for like really making some long-term moves. All the work that you did on boundaries, and I think our last session that we had, um, where it felt like for me, your feedback was that it really a lot of stuff clicked for you. So all that work you put in there's a payoff now. Just don't let it get in your mental space. Don't let it get don't let any of that rob you from the stability you're building. Don't let the intrusive thoughts and the physical dysregulation, but especially intrusive thoughts, rob you of what you're feeling. And you're going to feel even better in 2 days. This is great. I'm very happy for you. You did the work. And I mean, Pluto transforming your psychological space. There's a lot about just transforming, keeping those redirects, keeping your boundaries. I'm really happy for you, but this is a stability building, long-term stability building time for you. Okay. My back is killing me today, everybody. So sorry for the squirming. Um, okay, so Gemini moon. And then while Maricela decides if she wants to still give that away, I'm gonna move over to Tanya. Let me just double check my of course, because it's making me sign in every time. Okay, great. All right, Tanya, let me pull you up. Tanya, do you care if your last name is there, or do you not want me to share the chart and just give you the reading? You tell me. Well, I think that was Uranus in Maricela's chart. I just want to make sure I'm not sharing Tanya's information on the screen. If you just want me to give you the reading, I could do that. Let me do that until I see you say otherwise. Okay, let me pull you up. And again, if you're new and I don't have your information, it's a very quick fix. Takes me just a little bit of time. Okay. Yeah, so for you, this is happening inside the fifth house. Um, I mean, if you were thinking about having a second, um, I'm just gonna say you might be a little extra fertile right now, regardless. Um, not just because of the new moon, but because of other things. So just be, extra careful if that's not on your list. Oh, I can share. Okay. Yay. I was doing it without the second wheel because I don't need the second wheel, but it's nice to be able to show you all where I'm getting it from. Okay. So there we are. Oh, I forgot I have coffee here. Yay. Back at you, Gemini love. I'm so proud of you. I really, really am. This is all happening because of you, right? Which gives you so much fucking power. You have the agency. You can do it. Okay. Um, Tanya, it's applying to your Mars, which really acts, because it's in retrograde. That's also kind of having a sextile with. mm. Have you been thinking about, okay, you're safe, safe. Um, have you been thinking about going into like metaphysical belief stuff as like almost like a creative project that they could turn into like subsidy income, but not like it doesn't need to be income that like fully is responsible for paying all the bills? Like putting yourself out there in a small way or just trying. I don't know if there's tarot here too. That's it's not just because of your question. There's other stuff going on in the chart without me giving the whole world an astrology lesson. Um, it creative projects. The thing that you think that you cannot do for a living is probably available to you. Um, especially because that, Mercury is also ruling your MC. Uh, yeah, you are 100% working on that stuff. Okay, great. Yeah, no, do it. Do it. Um, you know what I say? Like um I started YouTube channel and um all kinds of other stuff without being fully ready. And I was so glad that the technical part of that was done and that it was like manifested by starting it. Was I posting anything in the beginning? Nope. I was learning everything and I was manifesting, like I was putting it into the universe, like this is gonna happen. Um, I think that when we overwhelm ourselves with being 100% ready, that's when we kind of fuck ourselves up in our heads. So think about how you want to brand yourself. Think about, like, you can change the name later, but like think about how you want to present to people, what you want to provide for people through the creativity, through the divination, through the whatever. Um, and get that going, but start the like Gemini, start the platforms, like sign up for them. Juan's been sleepy. You weren't here yesterday, Shauna, for the members only. Um, Juan's been sleepy. which I totally get. I love how you all love each other. I need to purr. Um, yeah. And hubby will be supportive of this too. You got to communicate it though. You have to go after what you want right now, Tanya. Yeah. Well, and it's a Gemini moon, so close your eyes and think about it because it's already in here. Don't don't look at what I'm doing. Don't look at what anybody else is doing. Don't look at what anybody don't you it has to be super authentic and close your eyes and feel like what you want it to be. What can you give and what do you want it to be? What do you value? Because that Mars Aries thing, which your Aries is being activated by the new moon. So even though the new moon isn't talking to that, it's like a ping pong, not a ping pong, a pinball. That the new moon is activating that. It's close enough. And then though that Mars is in a sextile and then in a trine. You just can, oh, good. I'm so glad. All right. Lil John, let's see if I have you in here, friend. And same question, Little John. Do you want me not to share? I'm gonna stop share while I see if I can pull up your name. It's been a minute. I think you need to put your birth information in, friend, because I don't think I gotcha. Sometimes the chat just pops back. And so I'm gonna move on to Zoe. Was that the decision? Zoe was taking the donated reading. Yeah, I just need your birth info. It would be easier if you popped it in here. I know I have it in the membership information, but then that means I have to go into 3 other screens. Yeah, and just pop in. I'm gonna hop over to um okay, I'm gonna hop over to Zoe's reading. Since I did a session with you, I don't think you knew this, Armando, but the eclipse in Aries last spring, I lost all of my saved information for 5 years. It suckety sucked. So anybody that I haven't read for, like in the software, um, or I might have been on the other computer last time I read for you. Either way, I just don't have it on this one. Um, but let me hop over to Zoe while you put your info in the comments. Um, okay, so this is happening in your ninth. That's what I thought. Here we go, Zoe. Okay, so let's look. Oh, this is squaring your own moon in the 6th house. And it's in a trine with your Mars. Oh, you're so sweet, Maricela. You're so lovely. Um, I think we have an appointment tomorrow. Is that why you're giving? Um, I'm going to give you a little extra time on your reading tomorrow for you being so generous to everybody else. Um, Zoe. This is really interesting for you. How are you like comfortable marketing yourself, throwing yourself out there? How you're supporting yourself is really like there's a challenge here. It's interesting because, you know, we had your in-depth reading yesterday in membership, and there was a lot about you preparing, and this feels like another step to that. Because I always talk about how the sixth house is really more important than people give it credit for. Um, it is the support house, right? It's where we kind of self-refine. Sorry, I'm moving my seat, guys. It's where we kind of self-refine. Um, and so who we are helps bring in the people to the seventh house, you know? There's a challenge here for you, and your moon is meeting the challenge because it is applying to the new moon. We also have a trine with Mars here in the first house, you know, and we talked about this. You're about to go into your Saturn return, so this new moon is activating that as well. It's in a sextile with your Saturn. It is trining the Mars that is in a Mars Saturn opposition. It is squaring your own moon. It is quincunx with your Venus and your Mercury. It's talking to a lot, right? And mm, give me a second here. Do you have an option to either travel or go someplace for school or work or take an opportunity that kind of takes you away from home, um, and that makes you feel less comfortable? If that hasn't come up, I think it will for you. And I've been reading for you for a long time, and usually when this stuff comes up, it usually comes through. Thank you so much for everything, Shauna. You wield that wrench well. You're applying for a PhD scholarship. It's far away. You probably will get it. It might be a little hard to leave home. But the self-refinement that's available to you, that's challenging your moon. And, you know, Pisces moon likes comfort. Uh, Although it's mutable, the change sometimes for the moon, especially in the sixth house of Virgo, likes a routine, likes things the way they are. Yeah. So I would, in this new moon tomorrow, I would manifest that all the support tools, including how you support yourself, um, comes in um for you, because it's really going to help release anything that, like, I hate to make manifestation like you're doing it wrong. It's not that. It's that like if you have emotional or physical dysregulation while you're trying to manifest something for yourself, it's harder for the energy, the molecular energy, to help keep that magnet like burning bright for you to bring it in. Um, and so I would have the conversations with family. I would have the conversations with yourself. Um, and if there's any little ways to like look at how you think it would make you uncomfortable to be so far from home, I would like dipping your toe in the water. I would I would play out in your head how that feels a little bit, and redirect it, because this opportunity is huge for you, and it also helps you with your Saturn return, my love. It helps you with your Saturn return. I still think a whole Saturn return reading for you would be good. Um, Maybe you're inspiring me to do like a Saturn return, um, talk to Lori and do like a Saturn return thing, reading, sale or something. But yeah, this is this new moon is big for you because it's just binging so much, and it's opposite that Pluto, that transformation. So making sure you're not tethered to the physical space, your early environments, your local environments, that's wonderful. The challenge is there to grow you. It's not there to break you. Yeah, your moon is on Shauna's rising, and it's also conjunct Maricella's rising. Yeah. You guys all have placements that tie you together. I'm sure if we ever went into membership and did like a whole bunch of synastry wheels, it would be pretty crazy. All the connections, which is what happens in a community, right? That's how it becomes a community. Oh, keep us updated. These are supposed to be the quick reads, but I'm me, so I should just have like one thing, like how I'm gonna read. Um, Let me put in Mr. Mando. I know he put in the information, so where to go? Just waiting for the chat to show up. Here we are. I'll fix anything I have to in a minute, but every time I press on was it Del Rio, Texas? Let me just double check all this is right. Every time I click on the software, the chat disappears. Del Rio, Texas, 1:40 p.m. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Nope. I want the transit one because I want to be able to move it. Okay, so this is applying to your cusp. Oh, and your moon is conjunct Zoe's moon, which is also conjunct Shauna's. So funny. It's conjunct Shauna's rising and Maricella's rising. Are you guys seeing this? Oh, Shauna left. She loves this stuff. Or she's cooking and listening, and her hands are like not available to type back. Um, let it out. Better out than in. Okay. So this is happening in your 12th. It's applying to your cusp. Ooh, your mutable energy. Okay, so a little bit the same in kind of um that I said to Gemini love, if you were listening, this is also squaring your moon just like Zoe, but in a completely different house. Also, we want to make sure the mental space doesn't get overwhelmed and keep you back from the other things that could be happening right now. Because ooh, you've got Mars, Venus in 3rd to 11th. So that communication and that social stuff needs to happen. Um, I'd be careful not to be overly shy. Like, you don't have to show all your cards, but there's a situation right now where you need to present yourself. Hey, you're a teacher, correct? Not only is he a Pisces moon, he's a 4-degree Pisces moon. Zoe's a 3-degree Pisces moon. You're a 6-degree Pisces rising. Sean is a 3-degree Pisces rising. We have a lot of this in our community. Yeah, you're a teacher. Um, is there another institution like could you have the ability, it could be a little tough because you'll feel like you're not working as one-on-one with the kids, but you have an ability to move into like a behind the scenes position, or a behind the scenes person. You work for the government. That makes perfect sense. Because I was going to say, I'm seeing like government, hospital, I'm seeing institutions here. Okay. There are behind the scenes connections that can move you into a place, like promote you. It wants you to be comfortable with being visible, which I know you guys also, you and Maristella also have 10th house moons, different moon signs, but you also have 10th house moons. You have a lot in common, actually, with your charts without having the same kind of chart. Um, so I know visibility isn't always the easiest for you, but there is a challenge here asking you to like network. Sorry, I've got the hiccups for some reason. Yeah, you're able to network here and have advancement. You're elevated. Your moon is elevated in your chart in general, as is your sun. Communicate behind the scenes, like, and then that leads you to a place of visibility and advancement. This is like you can go after what you want for long term, what you want it to look like, but you're gonna have to do something about it. There may be email writing to have happen. Are you a little bored right now with your job? Are you frustrated? Do you not love it? I think right now it feels a little challenging. I mean, obviously, anybody who's working for the government, it could feel a bit like even this transit also says challenging. It's also having a conversation. It's quincunx, which means your Jupiter in the 7th house. Gosh, you're always like the stable person for somebody who's feeling less stable, aren't you, in a relationship? Time to stop doing that, friend. Your Cancer is about to have you're about to have, sorry, Jupiter opposition. Uh Jupiter moves into Cancer, I want to say June 6th. And then so I'm gonna say by July, you're going to have, can you do me a favor? Because I'm not sure what you're saying yes or no to. So yes, you're usually a support person. Nope, we're not doing that anymore. You are ready to leave. Okay, you are ready to leave. Sorry. I know that your one words are like answers to things that I said, but I've said a lot since you're able to because of the delay. So I just want to make sure I'm getting the right feedback. You're also about to have a Jupiter opposition. So that's going to challenge you to find the sweet spot and being stable for everybody else and being your own opportunity. Yeah, you will have advancement. Somebody knows somebody. Use your behind the scene networks. You're not the only one who wants to leave either. Yeah, so manifest it. Manifest it. It's applying to your rising sign. Who you allow people to see you as is up for change right now. But because of the, the sextile to Saturn, you have to put the action behind it too. You have to self-actualize here and it will show up for you big time because you're also having that Jupiter opposition. I mean, that's like one good thing and another good thing on the both sides of a seesaw. The opposition is kind of mitigated by the fact that it's Jupiter, Jupiter, you know. You got it, but you have to believe it. That Pisces moon cannot be, and the Gemini in the 12th house cannot be up in the mental space telling you that you can't have it. The intrusive thoughts. Give them a fucking vacation. Okay. And then I think we are looking at Adva. Right? Nobody else. I don't have any other Advas. I'm taking your last name off. Okay. Yeah, that about makes sense. It's time for you. You put too much into other people, but also there's backdoor connections now to go do something that you really love that'll give you visibility later without like a full reading. Oh, no, well, I mean, Maricela wanted you to have a reading. You can always pay it for it another time, Adva. Um, this happened in your second? Is this happening in your second? Yep, it is. Okay. Oh, this is really good for you. I think this is about the new job, to be honest. Yeah, because Mercury is also ruling that 6th. And we have Saturn and Aries having a lovely sextile with this new moon, and Saturn is what rules your 10th house. So I would prepare for elevation for you. And it's having a sextile also to that Venus. Uh, you know, Adva, there is a little opening for romance here, but also I would get really involved. Everybody everybody has been really tired. It's the Neptune, Uranus, and it depends on the phase that you were born on. People born closer to a full moon phase are going to be more tired during a new moon because it's not your natal phase. It's not your normal mode of operation. Where a lot of water, the moon has effect on us. Guess how business get off the ground feels very challenging at the moment. Well, these are new moon readings, so without giving you like a full, because these are quickies about the new moon. So this is streams of income in here and abundance and self-worth. So let this, just know that this is going to subsidize everything else that you need to do. Prepare for elevation. Yeah, meaning like, I think I already said this. I think your immediate supervisor is going to really like you where you're at. But also, I think this job will be less stressful and give you more energy to work on your real, right, calling, and give you space to get that business together. Don't forget Saturn and Aries, as much as you want it just done yesterday and you want to be in it, Saturn wants to give you the long-term plan. So this is giving you space to create long-term plans because it's going to be really nice subsidy. It's, it's also like, it's in separation, but it's in a trine. Sorry, it's in a sextile, which is harmonious, both to your moon and to your Venus. If you manifest tomorrow, I would also manifest that like the new job and what you're putting into your own business, slowly and surely allow you, you could manifest a home out of this, like your own little space. It might, and this is coming to me metaphysically, it might be 2 years out, but there's a possibility for you to have a space where you live and work, like a work. Yeah. But it also could be an opportunity when there could be an opportunity in the next, just manifest that either the house you're living in now becomes available for you to own, or through some kind of arrangement, or there's some space so that you can have both. That's long term, but don't forget Saturn and Aries says slow down. We know what you want. We want you to want what you want. We want you to have the go get them, but also we want to make sure that it can be long term. We want to put the plan and the everything. And that is dinging for you a lot here. You got to put in the action though, and you got to keep the intrusive thoughts from robbing it from you, which is a Gemini thing in general. Okay, kids, it is 5 o'clock and I am ready to go have dinner. Now, before I'm too tired to want to make dinner. I'm starting to understand the whole early birds. I'm up earlier and then I'm just like, if I don't make the dinner now, not going to make the dinner later. Happy new moon, everybody. I will be back later this week, probably for just doing tarot. Thank you so much, everybody, for your feedback. I'm excited. And always, like, if we do these things, email me and let me know when the stuff comes in. Let me know how it went. Okay. I love you. Now you love you. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you all soon.